I'm in a southern suburb of Brisbane, in a fairly ordinary suburban street, but lurking here is a special collection of rare plants that will send aficionados and casual fans alike dizzy with delight. This is the home of Sheldon McLeod. By day, he's a builder and building site supervisor, but every spare moment, his gardening passion is this: the group of epiphytic ferns known as elkhorns and staghorns. Oh my God, Sheldon.
Nice to meet you.
Aladdin's cave or what? How long have you been growing these?
Yeah, a long time. It started with my grandfather and my father. Go back, when I was a little youngster, around 2 to 3 years old. I've inherited a few plants from them, and I've still got them.
3 generations worth of ferns here. Yeah. That's pretty special. What drew you to elks and stags?
Just the beauty of them. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Like, just look at them.
The 2 species that would be most familiar to our viewers are staghorn, Platycerium superbum, and elkhorn, Platycerium bifurcatum. They're the most common Australian native species. When did you realise there was more than just elks and stags?
Yeah, probably go back 15, 20 years ago. I found out about a few other species that you can get, and it was just opened my eyes, like, wow, I've got to have those.
I'm just desperate to have a look at your range of plants.
I can't wait to
Can
show
you
you.
show me?
Yes, definitely, Jerry. Let's
Thank
go.
you. His collection is across a normal suburban block of 1,000 square metres. Unsurprisingly, the garden is dripping with rare and exotic staghorns, most of which stretch the limits of believability with their abstract shapes.
This is one of my favourite, Platycerium andinum, the only native American staghorn. It's probably around 12 years old, this one, and she's at full maturity. Lots of mature spore coming on this now. You can see it just falling off when you scratch it like that.
So they are.
So that's ready to go.
What a fantastic fountain of foliage.
Yeah, I think so too. She's extremely happy where she is. I don't move this one, and that's another thing with staghorns. If you get them in a spot that they love, you will know they'll just flourish. If you notice after a month or 2 they're not going so well, move it.
So what's the latest?
The latest craze at the moment are dwarfs. They're small, they're compact, they don't grow much bigger than that. That's called Jade Girl, willinckii Jade Girl. That's a really popular one overseas at the moment.
Now that the collection is well established, Sheldon is concentrating on crossbreeding and growing his own hybrids in his backyard nursery.
These 3 here are 3 I selected out of spore. Willinckii Moonlight is the actual name of the mother plant.
These are yours?
Yes, they are. So I selected those out when they were really little. They're nice dwarfs. They have a lot of the white fur as well, so they can take a lot of direct light. And they stay so compact.
So how do you go about creating your own hybrids?
I mix the 2 spores, the 2 parent spores together, equal quantities of each spore, put them down on good quality moss, keep them lightly misted, and just hope for the best. When they get to, say, around 20-cent pea size, that's when I start to notice if they're different.
And you've got the eye for this, of course, haven't you?
I've grown enough of each type.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a hybrid I created, Platycerium Imperatrix. This is a pup off the mother plant. It's a hybrid between willinckii Paul and veitchii Sunrays. It's got a distinct toothing around the shield edge, and it's really unique. There's not too many Platyceriums that do that. I don't think there's actually any that do that bar her. She's really white too. She gets it off the veitchii. She can handle a lot of sun.
All Platycerium have the same distinctive growth form. Large shield fronds fan out over to anchor them to their growing surface and absorb moisture and nutrient, while protruding horn fronds are held aloft to catch sun and spread spores. But Sheldon's collection shows from this base there's many variations available. You've got some really interesting plants here. It looks like it's made from velvet.
It's a beautiful one, this one, Jerry. It's actually a hybrid of Platycerium andinum and Platycerium elephantotis. Its name is Antis. They get these massive, massive elephant ear-like shields, and the horns, they'll get a lot bigger than this because this is just a young plant. It's only 18 months old. There's a lot of little babies around the back here. Just cut those out of the back, repot those and keep them moist and wet, and they take off and there's another plant.
It's a little treasure.
It's a little treasure. It's a beautiful one, I really love it.
So how many plants do you have in the collection, and how many different varieties do you have?
I'd probably have 50 to 100, I guess, different varieties of Platycerium in the larger size. In smaller size coming through, probably a couple of thousand.
This is pretty much how you would see them growing in the wild, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they love growing on trees like this. They're an epiphyte, so they don't hurt the tree. They just literally suck onto the tree. They just thrive. If you want to leave them go, and you can, and they'll just look after themselves. But personally, I fertilise every 3 weeks. I add that into the regime.
A liquid feed or a granular feed?
I'll look both. I use slow release fertiliser, and these things are a treat. So you can load your slow release fertiliser into them, shut the little lid. You can see there's a little lid on them.
Yeah.
Shut that little lid up, and that just goes into the back of the plant. Push it into the root mass in the back. Every time you water, they're getting fertilised.
What sort of materials do you use to attach them to the trees?
The legs of pantyhose.
Oh, get away.
No.
That's one of my favourite ties.
Good, me too.
You must use a lot of pantyhose here, though.
I do use it. Yes, I go to the shop and buy them by like the 10 packs at a time and walk on out with 10 packs of pantyhose. I get a couple of looks, but hey, they work well.
There's a whole world of different species, hybrids and cultivars which collectors go nuts for. The scene is particularly strong in Malaysia and Japan.
I just love it so much, and I've always just grown all the new types and tried to get the new types to add to the collection. It's just sort of fallen on my lap. I'm trying to better it and get ahead. So.
And how did you come across all those plants?
Just friends. Got friends in Australia that are growing them as well.
Do you sell any of your plants?
Yeah, I do. Ones that are popular at the moment, definitely ridleyi, madagascariense, and certain types of veitchii too. The overseas market just absolutely love veitchii from Australia. So yeah, we're just working on getting the right certificates in place right now so we can start exporting them overseas and grow the business. It's exciting times.
And Sheldon certainly isn't slowing down. He sees his future in these incredible plants.
Asia is at least 10 years ahead of us, and I want to catch that up for Australia. A lot of Australians don't have any idea what is out there with platyceriums. They've never seen any of these. So I just want to really push the awareness out there. I also want to improve the drought tolerance. A lot of them can't tolerate the direct sun, so I want to also hybridise a few of the stronger, sun-tolerant staghorns into a lot of these and make them, available for everyone, and they can put them on a tree anywhere. And lastly, I just want people to love these as much as what I do. They are a beautiful plant. So that's my goal.
After raising his ridleyi from spores, he shows us how to nurture them to their next growth stage.
Okay, this is the 100mm plant size. What we're going to do, we're going to mount it into this shield using a moss, good quality moss. Tucked it in there like that. Fill that cup up. Now these, just give them a bit of a squeeze around the outside. Out they come. Probably lose a bit off there and grab out the tag. Now I'm going to squeeze this down like that. Push this in behind. All right. Give it a good water in. It can stay on that mount for 12 to 18 months. And then from there, the root mass will go right into this pouch in the front. So you'll have all your roots come out of that 100mm pot size root ball and come right out into this. And then it's so simple later on when they're bigger to just slide that whole root mass back out again and just a couple of stocking legs around this, a little bit more moss on the back of it and mount it onto a tree. And it'll just take off. Beautiful.
And in a few years, you too could have something as spectacular as this.
Jerry, this is ridleyi wide form. It was found by a guy in Thailand. I was lucky enough to get some spore a few years ago. and put it down. And yeah, this is probably around 3 to 4 years old, this plant.
It is distinctly different from any other that I've seen.
Yeah, it's very different. It's got that wrinkled shield. And there it's spore patches. It's got a distinct little spore cap.
One other thing I must say about this is it's portable.
In our climate here, southeast Queensland, it gets cool, so I don't want to lose them, so I bring them inside. And you can easily move them when they're in bowls inside.
How do you succeed with them?
For a start, it's the right lighting. If you can get good quality grow lights, makes a hell of a difference. You can supplement, so if they're getting a little bit of light coming through the window, that adds to it, so you don't need as many globes. I keep these on for probably 8 hours a day, so just when I come out in the morning, switch them on. At night, about 6 o'clock, switch them off. We have a few ridleyi here. These two side ones at the ends, they're wide form. And the one in the middle, these two here, they're dwarf forms of ridleyi. A southern form and the northern form from Thailand.
What about temperature? Do you use room heaters? Do they accept air conditioning?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they love that. They love that, mate. Like, they're pretty hardy. You don't need to, I don't even worry up here with those temperatures or anything like that. I just supplement lighting. In winter, obviously, your house is warmer inside your house, and that's just enough. It might be, say, 7, 8 degrees outside, but inside it'll be 12 degrees. And they can tolerate that temperatures easily down to 10. So yeah, they just love it indoors under lights.
Any risk of killing them with kindness? Too much food, too much water?
Too much water. Too much water. Definitely too much water. Most staghorns, people think they just got to be wet all the time. No, they love drying out. So keep that in mind with any staghorn. Let them dry out between waters. There's a little tiny spot here in the centre. I just feel that little gap there just to make sure that moss is dryish. And that's where I know they're ready for a water, and you water them right in the centre here. Because they hug onto those bowls and there's not that much space there.
So that's important, right in the centre.
They seem to leave a little spot there. You'll notice on that one over there, it's got the same little spot. It's like a gap in the shields where the shields come through. You can just water these like you would outdoors. You know, once every, say, 2 weeks would be fine. To 3 weeks, I probably do 3 waters of nutrients, and then I might go 1 water with water, straight rainwater. So you've got to do that flush and to wash that nutrient out.
So seaweed would be acceptable for them?
Yeah, that's acceptable for them.
Well, I have to say they're looking absolutely splendid. They're a credit to you. And
thank you.
I hope people out there will be able to succeed as well as you have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.